Hi, and welcome to the Herwoodian Crafter channel. I'm Jutta. I'm coming to you from Tampere, Finland, and this time I have a sewing project to share with you. I just finished it last night. It's not very practical for this time of year, but I'm completely in love with it, and I'm wearing it right now. This is the Datura blouse. I didn't check how to pronounce that in French. I would butcher it if I had. but yeah, Datura blouse. And let me back up just a little bit. I'll angle you down and let me show it to you. I am seriously happy with this shirt. I really love the neckline detail. It was not the easiest thing to make, but I really love it. I love the end result. And I have to say the difficulty level was stated 3 out of 5 on the Deer and Doe website. And yeah, it's not completely kind of as complicated, but I have to say that the fabric choice made it seem a little bit more difficult for me. This is viscose, very, as you can see, you can see that it's double layered here, and you can see the print through it, so it's a little bit sheer. And that's why I'm wearing a sleeveless top underneath. But yeah, it's very sheer. It's quite slippery. It's a viscose fabric, so that made it a little bit difficult to work with. I'm not that used to working with fabric like this. I think this is the third shirt that I've made from this type of fabric. I have the kimono jacket that I showed about a year ago on one of my Vlogmas videos. Then I have the Anderson blouse from Sew Over It, and then this one. And seriously, I like this so much that I can see myself making more of these blouses. And yeah, maybe a little bit less slippery fabric next time. And yeah, there's two versions of this. I don't see myself making the other version has the what is it, a collar, kind of very, yeah, it's a different look, and I don't see myself making that version. But there is also the option of making this kind of neckline but without these, so I can make those, a few of those. And then in the pattern, the buttons behind were actually faux buttons. They were sewn on. The pieces are separated in the pattern, but the buttons are sewn through both versions. But I felt that with my shoulder and all, and since this is not a very kind of stretchy fabric, even though it does kind of move around, I do feel like it's easier to put on when there's actual buttonholes and you can open that. And yeah, I was kind of right. It would have been a lot more difficult to put on if I had just sewn the buttons on. But yeah, this is a very quick video. So one thing I did come up with this fabric, I have another fabric lined up for the next pair of Narcisse pants that I'm going to be sewing up soon. but I got myself a new serger. Well, not new, my first overlocker serger. I don't know if it's British versus American difference between the words, or if there's actual differences between overlockers and sergers. But I'm gonna use the word overlocker. It's a Singer S14-78 model, and I've been wanting to get my hands on an overlocker for quite some time. It's a little bit intimidating because it's so much more. It has so many more bells and whistles with the yarn and the. But I got it as an early birthday and Christmas present. My birthday is coming up in about a week. But yeah, I got it as a combined birthday and Christmas present. And I think the best thing I figured out with that for now is to overlock the raw edges of the fabric you're about to pre-wash before actually cutting into it. Because before I got huge amounts of yarn buffs when I had washed the fabric, and I'm sure there's strands of yarn, thread, I think it's called thread with fabrics and not yarn, but I'm sure there's threads that kind of went into the pipes, and I'm sure that's not very good for the washing machine. But yeah, so I got the idea in my head to actually overlock the raw edges, so it made it much neater to wash it. I don't have to cut any thread baths out after taking this the fabric out from the washing machine. So yeah, just a quick tip if some of you haven't figured that out. I'm quite sure that maybe doing a zigzag stitch on it would be quite as effective, but of course with the overlocker it has the cutting edge, so it's a little bit easier. But anyways, yeah, I am so happy with this, and I feel like this could have been a quicker sewing project. It took me 2 evenings, mainly because I didn't do that. And this is made from the same fabric as the shirt, as you can see. And actually, they in the pattern there is this kind of template for making the bias tape. But I did it a little bit differently. I used the iron and not this because I kind of felt like it would be maybe a little bit easier, and I kind of pinned the bias tape over and over, and yeah, that probably took a huge amount of time that I could have used otherwise. I also I was very kind of anal about these edges to be, so I pinned them down before ironing them, because there's no top stitching in here, and it's too doubled up, so I felt like that would be a good idea to make it very neat. Top stitching probably would be quite a good kind of alternative for it. Also, there was a few places that I didn't quite understand from the pattern instructions concerning the shoulder edges, shoulder seams, and the side seams, because it's only this section on the front and back that is double layered. This part is not the body, so there are a little bit of a kind of brain bruising things for me, because I haven't done anything like that before, the end result is very good because you have a very neat shoulder seam. You can't even really see it over from there, but it's a very neat shoulder seam, and I think the end result would have been the same with the side seam and the bust seam. I did get the bust seam very neat. You don't have a kind of a same kind of seam as I did a French seam here, but you don't get that kind of a seam up in here. That you can see a little bit of it, but it's basically doubled, turned from both sides, and then this is inserted and then it's sewn together. If you get my drift. But there was some kind of a instruction to first do the side seam and then do the bust and back seam, and that I just couldn't make sense of it, so I sewed the bust and back seam first and the side seam as a last kind of seam before doing the bias tape on the hem. But the end result is good in my opinion. It doesn't matter, it's just something that I couldn't quite get hang of, but I still got the shirt all ready, and I'm really happy with it. And yeah, I probably will be doing more of these, especially towards the summer. But yeah, I'm just ridiculously happy with the shirt. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me for this short sewing video. And yeah, feel free to subscribe or like this video. But whatever you decide to do, I hope you have a very lovely time crafting. Thanks for joining. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.